Momodora, Reverie under the Moonlight, also known as Momodora 4, was released on March 4th, 2016. This game is what most Momodora casual fans recognize, and for good reason. Beautiful graphics, lovely music, and awesome gameplay. It's an accumulation of effort from the previous games that the developer has worked on. It all comes together to create a masterpiece. This series is over a decade old, and I'm here to play its fourth installment to ask the question, is it possible to beat Momodora Reverie under the Moonlight without any melee attacks? Oh, someone already did this? 4 years ago? It was live streamed by Inhuman Live? Well, dang it. Think, Mikey, think. Oh, I know. I'll use no melee attacks and no healing items are allowed. Yeah, that's cool. That sounds better. Right, let's get this started. We'll be playing on normal difficulty. Because no lie, I haven't played this game in years and I ain't about to attempt a challenge with little to no knowledge. Let's keep this easy for now. We hit land, and the ferryman makes a comment on Kaho's magical leaf. Kinda sounds like an innuendo. But ignore this, man, because we'll not be using any such leaf. Why not make a comment on my bow instead, huh? Speaking of bow, that's our main weapon for this challenge. It can fire 1 arrow at a time, and then when it's charged, it can fire 3 at once in a spread fire pattern. Landing all 3 shots is how we're going to be dealing with regular enemies. We do have to get close to land all 3, but it's totally worth it. The beginning, to no one's surprise, is pretty damn easy. Just shoot your bow and they drop like flies. Ignore that. So in this room here, if we head over to the left, we could get a useful active item called Astral Charm, which will increase the amount of money enemies drop. And yes, that's money spelled M-U-N-N-Y a la Kingdom Hearts. So, having told you this, you would think I walked over there to pick it up. Yeah, I forgot. Bruh. So after skipping an important item that I will definitely come back for later, we encounter our first boss. Arthropod Demon, Mania! Cheesecake. Now it's a good time to talk about what I call arrow strafing. When you shoot an arrow and jump, Kaho will still face in the direction of the initial arrow shot. We can spam the button while in the air to continuously fire arrows in that direction. This grants us the mobility to weave in and out of the boss's range. Shooting arrows while on the ground gives us more lag and we can't roll in the middle of the animation, but we can jump. May seem small, but in a challenge where we can't use healing items, it's a good strategy to incorporate. Great! We kicked that arthropod loser's ass, and as a reward, we got her ass.
Hey yo, what the?
Yeah, it has to be, because it's the orb that was on her tail end. It gives our arrows poison properties, but it could also poison us. Her farts are quite literally deadly. For this challenge, Edia's orb is garbage. We'll be getting close to enemies to pop off 3 shots, and potentially getting poisoned for going for that strategy isn't a good idea. So into the trash you go. In the next area, Car City, we encounter a merchant with a decent item for sale, the Crystal Seed. It's a one-time use active item that increases our attack power by 50%. Such an item sounds helpful, so obviously I picked it up. Yeah, I forgot again. Luckily, the enemies don't pose much of a threat in this area, so not much to talk about. After a close call, I looped around to open this door to go back to the save bell. Then, we take on the boss, Mocha! He's not hard at all, just annoying. Mocha is so small and hops all over the place you have to predict whether to shoot standing or crouching. I took a hit and we transitioned to the actual boss, the Witch of Decay, Bella. And I guess Mocha just fucking dies, because we never see him again after this. Bella is a joke of a boss fight. Just shoot her calcium cannons and she'll go down real easy. No real strategy here. A few rooms over and we meet Kath tonight. She doesn't offer us anything, but she looks cool. We climb up the step. There's a problem. This mini boss is completely immune to arrows and only takes damage from the magic leaf. Luckily, that's not my problem, because we still have other routes to go through. So for now, let's just ignore this mini boss. If we head over to the right, we get a very useful item called Magnet Stone. It attracts money towards us, making it way less of a hassle to pick them up. Now, mentioning this, I obviously picked it up. I forgot again. We head south. At first, I thought we need a magic scale or something to breathe underwater. But no, you could just dive in. I guess Kaho is part amphibian? We enter a new area called Subterranean Grave, which is a badass name. And meet Eri. She has nothing of value to offer to us. She's just kind of here. I just explored around and died a few times. Until I finally encountered a boss. Derelict! Frida! She spawns wolves, shoot full-screen lasers, bites at you, and disappears and reappears. To me personally, this is one of the most annoying bosses in the game. I tried and tried and tried. Eventually, after 10 minutes of getting straight clapped, I decided to do something else. Within the subterranean grave, I head over to the right to pick up a garden key, and then over to a new area, White Leaf Memorial Park. I was confused on what to do next until I accidentally hit the melee button. Wait. I pressed that by accident. Wait. You need to... Wait, did it have to be a melee attack? Yeah. So for this wall to disappear, you have to use the leaf. And clearly, I wasn't gonna do that. That only leaves us with one option. Frida.
First name?
Frida.
Last name?
Go, ma'am.
You're free to go, ma'am?
Thank you so much. Have a great
Wait,
day.
what?
I headed back towards the subterranean grave for Frida. What made fighting her suck was having to travel all of this just to get another chance. But then I decided to test something out. Come on, throw a bomb at me. It's gonna work? Oh! Yeah, the enemy's bomb can break the wall here. I didn't think that would actually work. And for my reward, I get a save point closer to Frida, and a merchant with one of the best items in the game, the Clarity Charm, the Necklace of Sacrifice. Yeah, when Kaho's HP is at or below 25%, her attack power will increase by 100%. She will also glow red and leave after images. Only one problem, we're too broke to afford it. It costs a whopping 700 money to purchase. We've got to save up to purchase for later. The other item is the Clarity Shard. It sucks so bad. Legit one of the most useless items in the game. It only slightly illuminates dark areas for 2 minutes as a single use item. Of course, I bought it. Okay, now that we're basically forced into fighting Frida, let's talk about the reward we get. If we defeat Frida, we get a passive upgrade to the speed of our arrow charge, which greatly increases our damage output, while getting 1 of 4 fragments to open the magic barrier to enter the final area. As for how to unlock the wall over in White Leaf Memorial Park, I don't know. I'm just playing by feel. But let me just say, I got the most insane Frida RNG to win the fight. Yeah, I don't know the probability of that happening, but I'm taking it and running with it. Frida also was kind enough to drop an item. Okay, I was unaware that she could drop an item, but let's see what it is. It's called Sparse Thread, and it casts an energy burst around Kaho. Wait, this is an offensive active item. Can this really work on the wall in White Leaf Memorial Park? Well, I got so excited to see if it worked, I completely forgot the charge upgrade. Well, it did work. Okay. Yes! And with that, we unlocked White Leaf Memorial Park. And after all that, we just skipped over this area. Yeah, there's not much to do here. So let's make our way to the new area, Cinder Chambers. After another close call, we find a spider dude. He does nothing, but he is cute, and that's what matters. The spider dude sells drilling arrows as a passive item. You would think drilling arrows, oh, so they should pierce any enemies immune to arrows due to armor. Well, you'd be exactly wrong. You'd be wrong. What? You thought logic works here? Of course not. Still a decent passive though. They pierce through all enemies that are not immune to arrows. So if there's a line of enemies that are standing in your path, you can just shoot an arrow and it goes through all of them. Continuing through Cinder Chambers, I found and grabbed the Cinder Key, and we encountered Kath the Knight. Well, she's getting her ass handed by this unknown individual, so we lend a hand. Heretical Arsonist! This can be a decently challenging boss. She shoots hellfire, is wrapped in bandages and is able to use them as a whip, and can teleport to your position, but overall easier than Frida. With her defeated, we get a crest fragment that grants us the passive ability to dodge in mid-air. And with that, we move on to the next area. Climbing this incredibly long ladder will lead us to the Forlorn Monastery. Just as other areas, we dispatch the enemies as we go to our next objective. After I found this weirdo enemy, I dispatched of him and he dropped one of the best active items in the game, the Tainted Missive. It's a 2-use active item. With one use, it costs you some HP to increase your attack power by 100% for 15 seconds, effectively doubling our attack power. I ran around till I met up with Coat Tillard. She has a lot of cat. I spoke with her to get some catnip. After speaking with her, she gives us the monastery key to open the door to our next boss fight. It's a woman in a dress, kneeling down. She questions Kaho's affiliation. Assuming that she works with the queen, she raises up her sword to fight us, which is pretty jacked up because we're against the queen too. But Kaho is mute or something, so she raises up her bow as well. Pardoner, Fanel! She could be pretty challenging for the first few tries, especially after going into her second phase. She dashes to your location, rains down bolts of lightning, and gains a jumping slash that cannot be jumped over. With the bam and a boom and a pow, we take down Pardoner Fanel. We also achieve our third crest fragment, granting us the ability to charge up to the 3rd level with our bow. We then make our way back to Karst City in order to take down the knight that was immune to our arrows from earlier before. Now it's time for the last and easiest crest fragment in the game. The fragment is located over in an area called Furor Seal, which also happens to be the smallest area in the game. Before we can make it to that area, we must return to White Leaf Memorial Park to fight the boss of this area, Lubella Part 2. There's really no changes to her. She's just as easy as she was before. Shut up. So we defeated her, and in the process, Kaho managed to pass out. Kaho then wakes up, but as a cat, trapped within the cage. Glad we got that catnip. Okay, cool. We're in the prison cat. Let's make like hockey sticks to get the puck out of here. Yeah, there's no way out. And if you're wondering why my HP suddenly changed for the fight, it's because I actually fought her before leaving the park. But due to this predicament, I decided to save it for later. I thought exploring the other areas would grant me the tools to escape these dingy confines. Alas, it was for naught. In cat form, you cannot use any active items, nor your bow. Basic movements are intact: dodge roll, jump, double jump, and mid-air dodge. The last thing available in cat form is a dreaded magic leaf. The very thing I've been avoiding this entire challenge. I tried to use her air dodge to clip out of the box, but no luck. I looked up any known methods to glitch through environmental hitboxes, but nothing. This game doesn't have a large community like other indie games, such as Hollow Knight or Shovel Knight. I just couldn't find any information. I looked into a Human Lives run for this challenge, the YouTuber who did this challenge before me, just to see what he did, but he also used the melee attack to escape this cage. So, to answer the question from the start of the video, is it possible to beat Momodora Reverie under the Moonlight without any melee attacks? Well, no. But we could keep going. There's still some interesting moments up ahead. Without a choice, we use our magic leaf to escape the cage. We climbed out of the depths of White Leaf Memorial Park and obtained the Cat Sphere. The Cat Sphere is an active item. With this equipped, we could press a button in order to turn into cat form to squeeze into tight places. Kaho's running speed also increases by 20% when in cat form. And like, just a frame faster than constantly rolling. Yeah, I pay attention to the details. Now with the cat sphere, we could crawl through here, jump around, and bam! Now we have the final fragment and the ability to warp. When we reach any save point, it will give us the option to now warp. Not to every save point, just the main ones. Side note, I went back to Subterranean Grave to get the first fragment. I didn't go over here? I'm so stupid. Bro. Now, with all 4 fragments, we now go to the magic barrier and gain access to the final area of the game, Royal Pinacoteca. I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know what this word is. It appears to be an art gallery. Ah, it makes sense. There are floating paintings here. We enter the Pinacoteca. There's a receptionist at the front. She tells us we're not supposed to get in, blah, blah, blah. Where's my family? I hold her at bullet point and she let us through. There's also a couple having dinner together and a laughing skull? The fuck are you laughing at? Having no body head at. By one of the save points, there's a merchant. He sells a really great passive item called Pocket and Sensory. It adds flame damage to our attacks, making them do 0.5 more damage, while also dealing stun to the enemies. Only one problem. I'm on that EBT grind, and I lack the racks to go band for band with this guy. Basically, I'm broke, and I don't got 2,000 money. He does have another passive item that's really good too. It's called Quick Arrow. Basically, your arrows become instantaneous. The moment you press the button, this is what the hitbox will be. It just covers everything in front of you. So basically, it increases our damage per second, which I'm all for. Let's move ahead to fight the boss of, God, I don't want to say this area name again. Royal Pinacoteca. That will be the last time I say that area name. Please don't crucify me. Here she is, Duchess Lupier, along with her comrade Magnolia. Fuck! You see that? Arrows don't work on her. We could use a Tainted Missive along with the Sparse Thread to deal damage. We will only get 2 uses of the Sparse Thread, and it doesn't even do half of her health. So, what now? Use more melee attacks to continue forward? No, I don't think so. In Momodora 4, certain bosses have special conditions, and if we meet them, we are rewarded with an item. It's actually how I got the Sparse Thread from Frida and Edia's Pearl from Edia. What I want you to do is think back to our first encounter with Lubella. You have to predict whether to shoot standing or crouching. I took a hit, and we transitioned to the action. Now, what's the special condition? Don't get hit. And guess what? Once you beat the boss and save your dumb, stupid, idiot game, you are completely locked out of getting that item. As if things can't get worse. Oh wait, they can! It's one of the most damaging active items in the game. I'm about to crash out on God. So, I restarted the game just to get this one item to defeat Lupier. Now, let's talk about what item Lubella Fight 1 drops. She drops the Bachman patch. Well, more accurately, Mocha drops it because, you know, he dies. This item rains down Minecraft on the enemy doing damage. Like, every frame. Exactly the item we need for Lupier. I made my way back to the point where I left off in my first file, while collecting everything I mentioned I forgot this time around. Just a quick note, fuck Frida. You! Oh, why the dog?
What the dog doing?
Really? He shot a... Oh, they spawn faster! Oh my... Oh, finally. Fuck, man. She was just so annoying to do perfectly. Okay, now we're back. We got the items that we were missing. Now let's talk about stacking. And no, I don't mean stacking racks, but we'll get there because I'm broke. In Momodora, it is possible to stack damage bonuses from items, but not with active items. For example, if you were to use the Tainted Missive for 100% increase and then the Crystal Seed for an extra 50%, the Crystal Seed would actually overwrite the 100% buff from the Tainted Missive and only apply the 50% buff. So you wasted HP for no reason at all. But if you have the Necklace of Sacrifice while being at or below 25% HP and have the Tainted Missive buff, both 100% stacks would apply. And it's multiplicative. What does that mean? Well, let's say Kaho's jump melee attack is a value of 3, so it does 3 damage. And if we use the Tainted Missive, which is a 100% boost, we'll now do 6 damage. Now, let's say we're at or below 25% HP while having the Necklace of Sacrifice equipped. It'll, once again, apply a 100% buff to our current attack power and not our initial attack. So instead of going from 6 to 9, which is additive, we're going from 6 to 12, which is multiplicative. Now with this, we could do enough damage against Lupier to terminate her subscription to life. Hopefully. This explanation was possible thanks to the research of tubes on Steam. Although the damage values weren't pulled from the game's files itself, it's still very accurate. We start the fight, and after all that, we still don't do enough damage. So we need another item. The Pocket Sensory should push us over the edge in terms of damage. Here's some more math. The Pocket Sensory adds 0.5 to our damage. Okay. That does not sound like a lot of damage, and you'd be right. For example, Sparse Thread does 20 base damage, so with the Pocket Sensory, it will only do 20.5. Even if we were to add a buff by 100%, it will only do 40.5. Because, you know, we're adding and not multiplying 0.5 and PEMDAS. But with the Backman patch, there is 104 individual blocks that fall with one use. Every block does 0.25 damage each. In short, it does 26 base damage if all hits land. And remember the Pocket Sensory that adds 0.5 to every hit? So now with the Pocket Sensory equipped, each block does 0.75 damage. In total, we go from 26 to 78. And if we have the Necklace of Sacrifice active, along with the Tainted Missive, we will be doing 156 damage if all hits land. Now, what is 156 damage in relation to the boss? I don't know their HP value. All I know is that's a lot of fucking damage. So we need the Pocket Sensory, meaning we need 2,000 money. Luckily, there is a place where we could grind for it. Over in Forlorn Monastery, right before Cotillard, there's a bunch of Minecraft waiting to personally end their existence. I should use another joke. Cube World. And they drop money unaliving themselves. All we have to do is walk back and forth with the Astral Charm and Magna Stone equipped. And bam, 2k money. Now let's buy the Pocket Sensory and take on Lupier. Yes! Oh! No lie, I completely forgot about Magnolia. Don't worry, she does not resist arrows. She's easy and she only took one try. Finally, we move to the second part of Car City and the final grouping of rooms to clear the game. Everything here is relatively easy to dispose of, but we soon come across an old friend. It's Kath. She's dying. She's asking Kaho to put an end to her pain. No matter what answer you give her, she dies either way. So it might as well grant her one last request and put an end to her pain. Whoever did this will pay. We'll humiliate them by not even giving them the chance of seeing our magic leaf. In the next few rooms, we encounter an angel, or a devil in disguise. No words were exchanged between Kaho and his so-called angel. This boss is also completely immune to arrows. Well, there goes our plan of using arrows. Kaho is well aware of this situation because moments before, she fought Lupierre. With only 2 uses of the very item Mocha used, we end this devil's life. There is only one more opponent standing in our way, the Queen. Before that can happen, we have to upgrade our magic leaf. We grab the Seal Winds over in Royal Art Gallery. In the suspicious area in Car City, the Seal Winds can reveal a secret passage to a sacred spring. The magic leaf is dipped into the spring water, turning it from a regular maple leaf to an all-powerful spring leaf. This spring leaf will get the queen to show her true self, unlocking the true ending. As Kaho makes her way back towards the castle, there is a woman who recognized an item in Kaho's hand, the soft tissue item dropped by Pardoner Vanel. The soft tissue creates an artificial healing zone. As long as you're standing in it, Kaho will passively gain HP. At that moment, the woman knew that Kaho was the person she was looking for. She knows we cut the life of her younger sister short. Her sister was Fanel? Wait, Fanel has an older sister? Just recently, we got our revenge for Kath against that devil in angel's clothing. But here we are, on the receiving end of an older sister getting revenge for her younger sister. Are we really better than that devil? Maybe that devil is more like us, villainizing others while being unaware of the sins we carry. No time to think about this. We had a reason to end Fanel, all to take down the Queen of Karst. Yes! Do not waver. It's time to fight. Archpriestess. Wire. We've done it. We ended her life without taking a single hit. She left behind a blood-stained tissue, a reminder of the 2 lives that Kaho took. The blood-stained tissue is an active item that casts offensive magic. Multiple orbs surrounds Kaho. It then goes flying across the full screen, causing damage. It's time. The Queen is next. We'll end her curse and free this land. A cursed Queen of Karst. She's down. Kaho, without any hesitation, prayed with all her might. She prayed until her body's gone numb, all to purify the queen. The curse was lifted, but Kaho's life was no more. A valiant sacrifice to save the ruler of this land, and perhaps to repent for the lives she has taken. Without a doubt, her name will be passed down the priest lineage as the legendary priest that changed history. So, in the end, it was not possible to beat Momodora, Reverie under the Moonlight, without any melee attacks. But hey, it was still a fun challenge, and I hope you all enjoyed watching.